So we're assuming that maybe some of the people watching this series aren't necessarily all in Los Angeles or New York. They don't necessarily have access to the big 5 sales agents you mentioned. Maybe they didn't get into Sundance or Toronto or Austin or Telluride or New York. Maybe they're doing pretty well at regional festivals, really good social media, word of mouth. How can they create that, I guess let's call it heat, right? So that buzz that generates sales agent interest that comes from a screening happening all in one place like at Sundance?
I think that if they've made the decision to start to go into regional festivals, they should be very careful which regional festivals they pick, because there's a very large, there's the Mill Valley's, Chicago's AFIs, and then there's a whole pecking order, if you will.
The ones that get invented just to generate revenue for people in that town.
Yeah, something like that.
Got it. That's a great point. So before we even move on to sales agents, that's an amazing point that I think I definitely didn't know when I produced my first film. I had no clue. You just think, oh my God, any
festival wants me.
Right.
You should be very, just like you're careful which sales agent you pick, you should be careful what festival you say yes to. Right,
because people think like, okay, Sundance turned me down, oh, what do I do? And then you're just scrambling thinking we have to get into something, and then you get into one and it seems like 100 open up. How do you pick? How can you test the legitimacy, Gary?
Well, you only have one world premiere.
So true. It's a great point. Let's talk about that.
That's why you have to pick so carefully.
Will some festivals only take you if it's a world premiere?
You know who's trying to do that right now? The LA Film Festival is sort of reinventing itself and getting very, very firm about world premieres. They're trying to have most of the films be world premieres.
Wow, that's great.
I think that, there's some very smart people that are involved there, Elvis Mitchell, et cetera, and they're trying to make that festival extremely significant, and I think they're going to do it. It might take a little while, but it's going to be a major festival. So, yes, something like LA maybe might be something to look at. San Francisco, we mentioned Mill Valley, Chicago, AFI. This is the level you want to be at.
Okay.
With all due respect, you don't want to be at some tiny little festival in some tiny little town.
On its first year.
Yeah.
Okay.
One way to go now is to make the festival circuit. You can work your movie going from festival to festival to festival, or you can just do a handful of festivals to set up an ancillary run.